And we're back, guys. How's everyone doing? I'm your host, Good Energy. I give you the rundown on tennis coverage every day. We're in the studio tonight, Tennis After Dark. Let's get it on. We're taking a look at the matchups of the first round here at the French Open. And listen, guys, yes, I understand the ATP is going on as well. I do see some good matchups that I do want to talk about. I want to take a look. Did Gail play? I want to take a look at that matchup. I think that's interesting. But I do, because a lot of people are asking, I do primarily focus on the WTA. And the reason why I think we've reached a point in society where we have to start supporting female sports. I use the hashtag support female sports, support women's sports. We've seen the men dominate for years. And I think the ATP is reaching a point where I don't know, guys. I mean, you got guys like Casper. They're complaining more than the ladies. They're complaining more than Elena Rebecca. And I just feel the men's game right now with Nadal bowing out. Novak is still Novak, in my opinion, but he's slowing down. Let's just be honest, and just with a lot of the top guys being injured, I don't think there's a consistency with the game. I think the female game is much more consistent. Now we do have Ina. Who the heck is Ina? We do have Iga asserting her dominance, but that's good because we have players striving to get better. This is what happened in my personal opinion, and I talked about this in the past briefly, but not to just on the surface level. At that 21 finals in Mexico, Iga was the worst player there. What happened is going into that next season, trying to chase Ashley Barty, trying to get better, understanding that her serve was weak, understanding she had a lot of things to work on. She started with her footwork. Her footwork was good. She took that to the next level. She improved her serve. She got stronger. She worked on her short rally winners, setting up and building the point strategically. She worked on her defense. And she worked so hard that she was able to, with Ashley Barty retiring, none of this would have happened if Barty was still in the game because Barty was too dominant. Barty by far was someone that I was really looking forward to take over tennis. It was Barty. I had Barty, the clear front runner, taking that torch from Serena. Barty was too good. I mean, for crying out loud, the girl's like 5'6", barely see over the net. That's a joke. But with that amazing serve, being so short, her shot making, her variety, just she was so nonchalant. She'll go and drop the first set and whoop-de-doo, win the match. That's how nonchalant Barty was. And remember, Serena dominated Barty. But listen, guys, Iga worked on so many areas of her game. And it's like, I feel that the tour was sleeping a bit. They didn't expect that, right? Now, here's the thing. When you have someone that's a clear favorite, that's going to actually make the competition raise their level. That's going to make them work harder. So in turn, it makes the sport better because everyone's now practicing harder. And I just feel that year coming into the 22 season, a lot of ladies were kind of like thinking it was wide open and they didn't really I just don't think they put the work in like Iga did. That's just what I think. I don't think they put the work in. And it was surprising though, because Iga is like the off season, you can work on a couple things. It seemed like Iga's whole game just went to the next level. Now, I did call it many years ago, that Iga would at one day be number one. I did see this before she won a slam. I could see it in her game because she was very technical, but mentally she wasn't that strong. She'd break down a little too easy. She was not mentally strong. Let's just be honest with it, right? Crying a lot and stuff like that, very emotional. But she was young, so it's understandable. But I didn't see her getting that good. And part of it was, I've said this in the past as well, that top 10, I just felt it was the weakest it's ever been in tennis. That's just my personal opinion. I felt that top 10 at that time, the 22 season, That was a very weak top 10, especially with Barty leaving. Sabalenka wasn't what she was today. She was a double fault queen. It was that Coco was still very young, you know. That top 10 was very weak. You had someone like Paula Badosa come out of nowhere, the top 100, and she's number 2 in the world. That was a weak top 10. And I just felt Iga put the work in, and she did what she had to do, and everything lined up perfectly. But she did improve a lot, and like you normally don't see a player improve that much in like a month and a half, you know, because that finals ended what, November, came back. Yeah, so I mean that was a quick turnaround, but nonetheless, guys, she put the work in and it shows, and that's what it's all about. Now this matchup here, Christina Buxa, she's trained by her father. She's Spanish. I know she's a little light skinned, but she is Spanish. She's in her mid 20s. She's been as high as 56 on the world tour. And listen, guys, she's a clay player. So naturally, just about half of her wins come on the clay surface. She loves to play at home here. And I think, didn't she win the Madrid title with, I think she played with Sarah Termo. So congratulations there. And by the way, BB's back. So stay tuned. That's going to be a good match. Startup Seva. She's, I think she's from Russia, if I'm not mistaken, or is she from Russia or the Ukraine? I think she's got to be from Russia. No, she's from the Ukraine. So she's going to take on Buxa. They've never played before. This is a matchup here. I think Buxa's a slight favorite. So the odds makers, they're not really sure who should be the favorite in this one. Here's the thing with Buxa. She's a good defensive player. She's a good shot maker. I've always said in the past, she lacks power. She lacks power, which is why, you know, Iga's beat her several times. Sabalenka's beat her several times. Startup Seva's she's warmed up to the court. She's come through qualifiers. She hasn't dropped the set. The win over Zavaska was very impressive. But I do think Buxa, she's played the main tour consistently the last year and a half. She's played Iga several times. This is a matchup here. If she can't assert her dominance and get the victory here, then she's gonna have to go back to the drawing board and work. I'm gonna take Buxa to win a tight match. She should be able to edge Startup Seva. Panna Yadvardi taking on Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. This is gonna be a good match here. I do think Panna, she gets tired easily. It seems like her legs just get heavy. That's just what I see. It's like her legs get heavy, and 2 long grueling sets, 3 sets, she's going to fade. That's just what I noticed. Now she came up on the tennis circuit with Alicia Parks, where they were just dominating. You know, those tennis circuits, they play like it's like AAU basketball. You know, they play it, but it's professional. They play 2 to 3 matches a day sometimes, and Panna does have a good work rate, but when you're playing competition that you're like better than, you're not really being pushed. And I think she's going to be pushed in this match. I think she'll hold though. She normally does well in the first set. I think Anastasia wins the match, and I think the first set goes over 8.5. That's a pick. 2 picks. This is another match here where I just think it's Victoria Tomova is someone that gets overlooked because she kind of plays a balance of ITF and main tour matches, while Katerina is just, she's a staple on the main tour. She's got several championships. I want to say Katerina's got like, I want to say she's got like 5 titles. You know, I could be wrong, but I think she's got about 5 main tour titles. I remember she beat Yelena Ostapenko, and I want to say was it Thailand, or was it Thailand? I I think it was Thailand. She beat Yelena Ostapenko a couple years ago, or was it Seoul? I think it was Seoul, Korea. But yeah, I think she's got 4 titles actually on the main tour. Ekaterina is very powerful. She's a good baseliner. She's got a good backhand. Her forehand's kind of shaky, but she's like Madison Keys. When she finds her range, she's going to blast you off the court. We've seen her do well against Iga Swiatek lately. Victoria Tomova's a sleeper, though. She plays well, and she's beat Ekaterina before. She's won 6 of her last 10 matches. She's beat Laura Sigmund. She's beat Wong. She's beat Chloe Paquette, who's very good on clay. Ekaterina's struggling. She's lost 5 of her last 6 matches. Although tough competition, Sasnovich, Kruger, Ons, Taylor, Danielle Collins, Magda Lynette, This is a matchup where I think both ladies are going to hold. We'll take the first set over 8.5. And finally, we get to the main event. Leolia JeanJean taking on Iga. Big, bad Iga. Now, listen, guys, we talk about the odds makers being disrespectful here. Iga is a 5-1 favorite. That means if you wager $5 on her, you'll win back one to make the semifinal round. That means she's going to win her quarter. Allegedly. I think that's disrespectful considering she has a pretty tough draw, guys. This is the toughest draw we've seen her have in quite some time, and she's laying some serious chalk. I wouldn't do it. I really would not do it. But if you feel confident with Iga, which it's almost tough not to, she wins 90% of her clay matches the last couple seasons. But she's taking on Leolia JeanJean, who's going to have the home crowd backing her. Leola's pretty good on clay, not a 90% win rate, but Leola's about a 65% win rate on clay. She's come through qualifiers. She's took out Stem Anastasia, Robin Montgomery. But Iga's a different category, I know. Iga's won 10 straight matches at least. She's on a win streak, 2 straight tournaments. She's having an amazing year, 38-4 in the year, 14-1 on clay. Iga Swiatek's only lost 4 matches on clay in the last 3 seasons. That's right, guys. She's 51-4 the last 3 seasons, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want me to repeat that? Iga is 51-4 on clay the last 3 seasons. We're going to take the first set under 9.5. That's a pick, guys. Tennis in a minute. Like the video. We'll be back.